You know, I don't think I'm alone when I have a problem with the way handguns are represented in movies and television. It seems like Hollywood just can't get it together on how a handgun works, even though it's very simple. They keep ignoring the reality of firearms in favor of, I don't know, good movie making. I guess that's the only reason I can think of. But like I said, like most people in the gun community, I'm willing to bet you have a list of things you see in movies and television repeatedly that absolutely drives you crazy. So today I thought I would do a video of the 5 things I see in movies and television that absolutely drive me crazy. The Hollywood bullshit that you see continually in films and shows that just irritates people that know anything about guns. Now, like I said, this is going to be my personal list of things that bother me. Now, before I get started with that list, I am going to give Hollywood a pass on a couple of things. The first thing I'm going to give them a pass on is the fact that they seem to have no understanding whatsoever of recoil or report. You will see some 80-pound woman firing a Desert Eagle and there's no recoil whatsoever. It's just bang, 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 bang. They seem to have no understanding of recoil. And then, even if they're doing this in a closet, immediately after she empties her magazine or he empties his magazine, they'll turn to the person next to him and whisper, "Now we just got to find a way out of here," as if either of them would have any hearing left. Hollywood, like I said, seems to have no understanding of recoil or report. But I'm going to give them a break on that because I guess it wouldn't be a good movie if the first time the heroine or hero fired their gun, they embedded it in their forehead and the movie was over, or if they were deaf for the rest of the movie. So like I said, give them a pass on that. The second thing I'm going to give them a pass on is when you see 2 people that are in a standoff. They're face to face, got their guns both pointed at each other, but neither one of them wants to fire because they know the other one can fire immediately also. I hate it when you see this happening and one of them has a 1911 and the hammer is down. Well, I hate to break it to you right there, Hollywood, but the guy that doesn't have the 1911, or at least has his hammer back, already has the advantage because that 1911 isn't going to fire with the hammer down. Now, I'm just going to say that maybe the person that has the 1911 in that standoff has a death wish. So I'm not going to really fault you on it, but that is one thing that bothers me, but I'm going to give you a pass. Oh, one more thing I'm going to give them a pass on before we start with the list here is handguns and magazines or rifles, whatever, that never seem to run out of ammo. I'm going to give them a break on this because I'm just going to pretend that every time they flash away from the person firing the gun, that they reload. And we just don't see it on camera. But that's something that does bother a lot of people. But like I said, we'll use my imagination here and give them a pass. Now, number 5 on my list of things that bother me regarding handguns in movies doesn't really have to do anything with the handgun itself. It's got to do with the good guy. Often you will see the protagonist have to fight their way through a field or a building or whatever full of armed opponents. And somehow they don't have a gun. They've lost their gun, or their gun has malfunctioned, or they just didn't have one where they were, and they've got to fight their way through with nothing but like a ballpoint pen to get themselves through. And you'll see them go through and they will continually take out one armed person after another, but they never take their guns. They leave the gun on the person. Now, this doesn't happen in all movies, but when it does, it's ridiculous. I know they're trying to say the good guy's so good he doesn't need a gun, or maybe they have a problem with guns and only bad guys have guns. Either way, don't like it. It's stupid. You see it all the time. So that's number 5 on my list of things that drive me crazy. Now, number 4 on my list is slides on semi-automatic firearms that don't cycle when fired. You'll see the good guy or bad guy or whoever just shooting away. Slide doesn't move. Just bang, 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 and no slide movement whatsoever. That irritates the daylights out of me. That's just a basic function of a firearm. I know it might be expensive to buy a gun that actually cycles or pretends to cycle when you fire it, or to do it CGI afterwards. But to me, that's lazy filmmaking. It makes you look stupid, and I don't like it. It drives me crazy. Now, number 3 on the list is something I think everyone out there knows about, and it's that cocking sound. It's whenever someone pulls a gun, you hear that cocking sound. Doesn't matter what type of gun it is, revolver, whatever. It specifically bothers me when it's striker-fired guns. As soon as the gun comes out, cocking sound. Now I know this is for dramatic effect, but it's not how the guns work. So how about you create drama with your story and not with cheesy sound effects? Because when someone knows how a gun works, they know that's not how it works, and it drives us crazy. So that's number 3 on my list. Now, number 2 on my list is another sound. It's that clicking sound. I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. When someone does occasionally run out of ammo, usually the good guy, they'll continue to pull the trigger and you'll hear that hammer fall sound. You'll hear that trigger sound, even though it's a semi-automatic gun and it's out of ammo. Now, the slide won't be locked back usually. That's one thing you will notice, and you'll say, well, why doesn't that bother you? Well, you know, semi-automatics fail sometimes, and I assume that most actors don't know how to shoot, so maybe they're limp wristing, so it didn't lock back. But the fact that it still makes that cycling noise, that hammer fall sound, that trigger sound, when they pull the trigger after it's empty, that drives me crazy. That's number 2 on my list. Now we're to number 1 on my list. And remember, this is my list. So this might not be the number 1 thing drives you crazy, but it's the one that makes me the craziest when I see it. And it's wasting ammo, especially in apocalyptic situations or assault situations or zombie situations. You see people waste a lot of their precious ammo. Especially in apocalyptic situations or zombie situations where no one's making new ammo, why would you waste it? And they waste it in a couple of different ways, like in Zombieland, when they first find the rifles in the Hummer and they're like, shooting them in the air in celebration. That's a huge waste of ammo. That's how many zombies you could have taken out later so that they didn't kill you, that you won't have the opportunity to do now. Waste of ammo. The other thing they do, and this is most often what they do in these types of situations, where you have a massive number of enemies, a limited supply of ammo, and specifically with zombies, when you know you have to have one good shot to the head, they will leave rifles on full auto and just erratically pump 20 rounds into every zombie, hoping they hit them in the head. It's less accurate to shoot that way, and it's a huge waste of ammo because 29 of those 30 bullets or whatever you pump into them that don't hit the head are now wasted. And your magazine's going to be empty. So that drives me the craziest. That's the thing that bothers me the most. The full auto fire, the firing in the air, the wasting ammo when ammo is a precious commodity, especially in situations where no one's making more. So there you have it. That's my list of the top 5 things in movies and TV that just drive me batshit crazy because they get wrong or do wrong. So what's your list? Do you agree with the things I don't like, or do you have totally different things? I'd like to hear from you in the comments section below. But until then, that's my top 5 list of things that Hollywood does with handguns, rifles, etc., mainly handguns, that drives me absolutely crazy. Oops.
You go ahead.
It's the lady at 46 South Rose. 46 South Rose.
Station 1 call, retone that please. 10-4. Captain 4 to go to that location also. This is 1-9, is that correct?